It's that time again. HeliPod with MJD, Pick 6 presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, and you get a bonus game this week. You ready?
Bonus? Yeah, I'm ready. Extra credit always gets me excited.
Let's do it. All right, here we go, buddy. As promised, time to pick some games. We are both 3-2 in this never-ending Week 12. The Baltimore-Pittsburgh game getting ready to kick off here shortly, and we both picked wisely. We both picked Pittsburgh. So we're tied at 3-2 for the week. We're tied at 43-28
for the season. That's a great record as a head coach. I can tell you that much right now.
But let me tell you this. We're not going to be tied after this week.
We're not, so go ahead.
All right. Saints 9-2 at Falcons 4-7. The Saints are 7-0 without Drew Brees since last season as their starter.
Let me stop
That's crazy.
But I'm going to tell you why. Because early in the year, I did a thing on the most talented team in the NFL. And when you look at the Saints roster from top to bottom, they are by far the most talented team.
By far?
It's not even close. I'm talking about depth. From each defense, offense, they have depth all around. And those dudes pick up their play like they did last year when Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback. They pick up their play and they play lights out. Go ahead.
All right, that's fair. The Falcons pummeled. I mean, just crushed the Raiders 43-6. It's the worst loss for Las Vegas in more than 5 years.
They do that, though. I mean, the Raiders have Derek Carr and the Raiders have that type of game. I won't say last year they had it against the Jets where they're heavy favorites to go in and they just get beat up. It happens. That happens on certain
All right. Every team has a stinker. 5 turnovers, 4 by Derek Carr. But since Dan Quinn's been fired, Raheem Morris has the Dirty Birds rolling. They're 4-2. They split with the Saints last year. And they're going to do it again this year, my friend. Falcons are 4-7 with a plus 14-point differential. You know what that means?
Yeah.
It means they're a lot better than their record.
Yeah.
They are going to pull off the upset. They're 3-point dogs. They're going to win outright at home.
So so you're telling me they're going to go down to the Dome where there's going to be fans in that place and they're going to win.
Falcons are going to win, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to go with New Orleans Saints. What I do love about the Saints and what I love about Sean Payton, he adapts to his players. He's not running the same offense that he was running with Drew Brees with Taysom Hill. He's not doing none of that.
Well, he can't.
But he doesn't. Some coaches force that to happen. He doesn't. He moves. They run the ball. He does a lot of great things. And then their defense is playing lights out right now. And that defense, you saw what they did to Matt Ryan the last time they played with Taysom Hill. Well, they had 8 sacks. They got
Demario Davis is just playing lights out right now.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Saints on that one. Go ahead and...
Game in Atlanta, by the way. Game is in Atlanta, just so you know.
Is it in Atlanta?
Yeah, it is in Atlanta.
That's even better.
Yeah. All right. Lions 4-7 at the Bears 5-6. This is just 2 crappy teams. Matt Patricia obviously fired.
Thank God.
I just can't get out of my head though that they were shut out by a team that started a former XFL quarterback.
I can't believe he got an extra game
Walker.
after that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I can't believe, but that's neither here nor there.
So, interim head coach Darrell Bevell says he just wants the guys to go back to having fun. That's easy to say, but let's not forget Bevell's the same guy that's been calling plays for the team. That same team that was shut out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
The Bears have sucked. They're averaging 19.6 points per game.
Is Nick Foles
They've
back?
They've lost 5 in a row. We don't know for sure yet whether it's going to be Foles or Trubisky. I'll be honest with you. I've changed my mind here. I was going to pick the Lions to pull off the upset because I thought they were going to have some juice with the coaching change. I don't think there's juice in that organization right now. Marcus Trufant, Desmond Trufant rather, not playing again. He's on IR. He's their best DB right now. He's the most experienced DB. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not really feeling it for the Bears.
I'm not gonna lie. I was actually excited when I saw the Lions highlighted. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get them on this one.
Yeah, I changed it. I'm going Bears 21-17.
Well, this other thing too. When you look at them historically, they just play better. They play well. The Bears play well against the Lions. Mitchell Trubisky has a good game. They beat the Lions with Chase Daniels at one time. Like, they're just they just play better against them.
They rallied from 23 down the first game of the season. So with Trubisky at quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the Bears in that situation.
All right.
As well.
I hate that we're on the same wavelength here, but, it tends to happen. Browns 8-3 at Titans 8-3. The Browns haven't been 8-3 since they returned to the league in 1999. Isn't that wild?
So
21 years.
I'm going to tell you this. This is the funniest thing. Like, the way your schedule is set up, it helps out a lot because the Browns are undefeated versus teams that have records under 500, but then they're over versus teams that have records over 500. So that gives you kind of where they are right now. They're like middle of the pack. They're good.
By the way, there's something to be said for beating teams that you're supposed to beat, right?
I mean, they struggled in Jacksonville.
But they beat them. They won it. That happens.
Yeah.
Like you said, every team has a stinker. You have a game that you barely win that you should have won by a lot, right?
Look, without all the talking, I love both teams, and I'm going to tell you why I love them. I love both teams because they run the ball. They run first. They do what they're supposed to do. They help their quarterback out. Now, the reason I'm going to pick the Tennessee Titans is because Derrick Henry always rushes for 1,000 yards after Thanksgiving, and this is another game where he's going to do it. As much as I love my boy Larry Ogunjobi, who's a D tackle for the Cleveland Browns, is my dog. I love you, Larry. Ball out.
UNC Charlotte, I think, is where he went to school.
Yeah, he is. It's my dog. But listen, the problem is Derrick Henry's a different beast. And where's this game? I didn't even. Is it at?
It's
in
at
Tennessee.
It's in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a tough travel for them. You go to Jacksonville, then you gotta go home, and then go back, and it's snowing. Look, and as much as I love
plane flight, dude.
As much as I love Nick Chubb, the way he's running, all those things, I'm just gonna go with the Tennessee Titans. They just have more juice, I think, offensively than the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and you know what else? They also have a massive advantage at quarterback, I feel like. I don't think Kevin Stefanski trusts Baker. They're still trying to hide him.
Did you see the one where the guy was wide open, what we call in the neighborhood, butt naked, and he just overthrew him?
Instead of getting the touchdown, they had to settle for a field goal.
You know what's crazy? I still don't
That is bananas to me.
I'm taking the Titans too, obviously. I think their defense is coming around. It's getting better. They haven't allowed a team to score more than 26 in their last 6 games.
Yeah.
I do worry a little bit about the loss of Jayon Brown. I think he's a very underrated linebacker. Long Beach Poly kid too, I believe.
Very good.
Yeah.
But I'm going Titans 27-21. Defense getting better. They're just a better football team right now.
I agree. I agree with you there.
Colts 7-2 at Texans. Man, they missed DeForest Buckner against the Titans last week, didn't they? I mean, Derrick Henry just torched him. And here's the thing. Texans don't have anything close to Derrick Henry.
The Texans don't have anything, period, but Deshaun Watson right now.
Well, and especially with the suspensions. Will Fuller and Bradley Roby suspended because of PEDs.
Kenny still released.
It's their best wide receiver, their top cornerback, Randall Cobb on IR. So they're not throwing to anybody besides Brandon Cooks.
Fantasy alert. Fantasy alert. Brandon Cooks. If you got him, you better play him because he's going to catch him.
QT has like 9 catches this year.
I know. It's just he's the only other option there for them.
You're right.
Unless they use their tight ends more, unless they use Akins and Fells.
Yeah, they may, but it's still volume. Yeah. And then Duke Johnson out of the backfield as well. But, you have it right, man. The Colts, they're going to bounce back and they'll be fine.
Yeah, say that again.
You have it right. The Colts.
Good job. I'm going there. By the way, that score, I like 30-21. Rams 7-4, Falcons 6-5. I'm fascinated by this game because this is a huge game for both teams.
At the Cardinals. The
Cardinals are 1-3.
I know where this one is.
1-3 since the bye week. And keep in mind, it would be 0-4 if that Hail Mary to beat the Bills had failed, which it probably should have. Thank God for D-Hop. And Kyler has been really reluctant to run since he hurt his shoulder week 11 against Seattle. And this is a terrible matchup, as you know.
Oh, my God.
Against the Rams defense.
No, it's not. I mean, the Rams, so this is the thing. And we talk about matchups a lot. The Rams match up well against the Seattle Seahawks. They match up well against the Arizona Cardinals. They don't match up well against the San Francisco 49ers for some reason. This has been a matchup that McVay has been able to take advantage of all the time.
Every time he's
6-0 against them. And it's partly because they refuse to better their offensive line. Aaron Donald gets immediate pressure all the time. Now you have other guys like Leonard Floyd. You add Jalen Ramsey to cover D-Hop. Now you're hoping, these other guys, Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella, have to be able to get open. I don't know how that's going to play, but what I do know is this. And I got in trouble because I was on Dan Patrick's show, or I didn't get in trouble. People were like hounding me because I said I would rather have Matt Ryan than Kyler Murray. And people were like, "Why? Are you kidding me? Are you crazy?" Kyler Murray didn't have a rushing touchdown or a throwing touchdown against the New England Patriots. You know what they did? And Baldy, our good friend at the network, did a XO or a tape on it. They forced him to throw from the pocket. They just didn't allow him to escape.
By the way, that's easier said than done, though.
No, it's not. It's very simple. Just rush up the field and don't let him run outside. And literally, that's what they didn't rush to sack him. They rushed to keep him in the pocket.
To contain him.
Yeah, the same thing you do with Russell Wilson, right? So now you have an identical carbon copy of Russell Wilson down in Arizona. And the Rams have had a ton of success against Russell Wilson doing this. So I say all that saying defensively, the Rams have a great advantage there. Offensively, the Rams just have to get back on track. I don't know how they do it. The Cardinals are going to blitz a ton. They're going to send all type of pressure. Goff has struggled with pressure, so we'll see if he can answer that question again. But I believe this. The Rams just match up well against them, no matter who the coach has been or what's going on, and I like the Rams in this one.
All right, I do too. 36-30. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Patriots.
The Rams haven't given up. I don't think the Rams have given up anything close to 30 in the last couple of weeks. Where do you get 30 from?
Because I think it's going to be 30.
Oh my,
it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Kyler Murray. I think he's going to start running again because he knows. And in order to make that offense successful, Kingsbury knows that Kyler has to run the ball. It's easy to say, hey, we're going to contain him in the pocket, right? Oh, yeah, let's let this one. Not everybody does their job on every play.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, we will. Write the scores down too, Bubar, because when
I'm
they
just
score
saying
30
they're not
points
going to
on the
score
Rams,
30 points.
All right, that's fair.
That's all I'm saying.
Duly noted.
Patriots 5-6 at Chargers 3-8. We talked about the poor clock management. Special teams have been bad. They've had injuries, bad luck. All of them have led to the Chargers' demise this season. Well, most of those things, not an issue with the Patriots, ever. The Patriots beat the Cardinals last week with 3 players catching passes, and Cam Newton threw for 84 yards, and that was the Cardinals, they're a good football team. I think New England's going to run the ball. They're going to put Stephon Gilmore on Keenan Allen. He's going to neutralize Allen
watch your mouth.
the same way that he neutralized D-Hop.
No, those are 2 different receivers.
Oh, really?
Don't you do that.
Write this down too. Being questioned again by the former Pro Bowler.
Listen, Keenan Allen's routes, his release.
Different?
I mean, I don't know if you saw it. I actually wrote something on, we had posted it on Total X. I did. I said he was like Picasso, and it was the way he runs routes. It's unbelievable. He's always open. I wrote that. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Chargers in this one because it's the Patriots at the Chargers. I don't think you can win a game throwing the ball 84 yards, and that tells me that the Patriots have an issue with their receiving core. I know they're going to try to run the ball, but Joey Bosa's back. The Chargers actually played pretty well against the Buffalo Bills. I just think when they're in LA, there's just too much firepower for the Chargers. They play way better at home than they do on the road. Herbert's going to have a big day.
All right. So we have 2 different picks so far. This is the bonus game because we only got 5 in this past week, right? Because of the Ravens Steelers.
Oh, yeah. I like this one.
All right. Bonus game. Bills at San Francisco in Glendale. 49ers had to leave Santa Clara County because of new COVID restrictions that prevented them from holding games and practices. So they're in Arizona. They're actually leaving today, and they're going to be there for basically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're only 1-4 at home this year, so maybe that's not a huge deal. Kind of a bonding experience, but it's not your traditional bonding experience, as Kyle Shanahan said, because, hey, guys, did you see what happened in Denver? We're not going to be hanging out in the meeting rooms. Like, you're going to go to your meetings, and then you're going to go to your room. It sucks, but this is a work trip.
And you'll be in Scottsdale.
And they'll be in Scottsdale. Well, maybe they hang out by the pool. They're a scary team down the stretch of the season. The 49ers, they get Sherm back. He made an immediate impact.
Yep.
Deebo Samuel's back. He went 11 for $133. He's probably the most important skill player on offense, not named, whose name doesn't rhyme with Skittle.
No question. I think Deebo Samuel, it's funny, calling that game last week, it was like he's a running back that plays receiver.
Yeah.
Like they just get him the ball any way they can, and he just, like, he's strong, powerful, big. But the other thing is this, they have their backs, they're getting their backs back, and they want to run the ball. And the Buffalo Bills have given up a ton of yardage on the ground. They gave up a ton of yardage to Austin Eckler and this Chargers, and obviously Joshua Kelly. Go Bruins. I'm going to go with Buffalo in this game because I just believe Stephon Diggs is a monster, and they're going to utilize him a little bit different. Cole Beasley is playing lights out, and Josh Allen. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Niners pull this one off because their defense is playing much better. And their offense is, even with Nick Mullins, they're efficient. And that is scary.
Yeah. Well, this is the reason I'm going to agree with you as much as I wanted to pick.
You're going to take the Bills? I'll take the Niners then.
As much as I wanted to take San Francisco. They've struggled a little bit with mobile quarterbacks. They've lost to the Cardinals and the Eagles and the Seahawks, and all those guys can move. They did beat the Patriots, obviously, with
the monkey breaks off the Patriots.
Yeah. I just there's been a lot going on for the 49ers this week, and they're just getting settled in. It's like they're home away from home.
I'm gonna take
Bills
the
are a good football team. Oh, you're changing it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Are you seriously changing it?
I'm gonna change it. The bonus game
on the fly.
On the fly. I'm gonna go with the Niners. Because to me, I think too many people are gonna take the Bills, and that's when you get in those type of games.
All right, thanks, buddy.
No problem, bro.
Great show, guys.
Have a good week.
You guys too. Enjoy it.